Okay. Let's see if this is live. Okay. We're live on YouTube as well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone today? I am Dan, Bullish Bears Dan, your host today. And you guys are looking at my AMD chart currently. We have a lot of good setups today, guys. A lot of good setups. We have UXIN on earnings. I'll show you guys a quick hourly chart just so you can see kind of the momentum here. This broke out on a positive earnings expectation. It looks like it's selling off a little bit, and it might be pulling back. You can see right here, this is kind of that trend line. Actually, let's go to the 5-minute chart. You guys can really see this is kind of angular momentum here. We've kind of broken it a little bit, and it's oversold. And we might be forming, we might have an up channel like this today. So we'll have to take a look at that and see if this this forms a hammer, 5-minute hammer down in this zone and gets back up in this channel. But I think UXIN is definitely worth watching. That's something from our watch list, actually. And so that is good to see. We also have, let's see, what else am I watching? I am watching CVM. CVM hit a nice high. After hours, pre-market pulled back a little bit, but we're trading kind of in this price box right here. And if you look, CVM had some news. It looks like it's got a lot of stock promoters promoting it as well. So we'll have to see. No Bali money. We'll have to see if this stays up in this price box or not, or if it pulls back to this former resistance line today. This could totally flush. It's kind of up in the air. This thing's going to continue, but you can see once it broke this big descending triangle, it's been working on retracing to that ever elusive 50% retracement level, and it has this overhead resistance. So there's kind of a convergence right here. So this one could hit this level in a hurry. It could do it today. It could do it tomorrow. But I feel like this thing is fighting its way back to this, to fill this, basically this huge, gap to at least a 50% retracement level. I'm not saying swing trade this thing, but I'm definitely saying this is a very good potential target for CVM. Good morning, Falcon. CVSI is another one we're watching for possible entry. You can see it's getting a little pop in volume right here on the 5-minute chart. This support level around 555 was the big level yesterday that we were watching. And cool, iRoar, that's a good trade. I never want to recommend stuff like CVM just because it's so low priced, but it actually does. If you caught the breakout on CVM, so one of our members got a breakout around 98 cents, and you could see right in here, this is where the run pretty much started, right about where he bought it. Got in a little early, but also had a nice blessing when he broke that descending triangle, and now he's left, dollar land behind. So that's really awesome. Congrats on that swing. Back to CVSI. CVSI, yesterday we were watching this trend line right here. If you watch yesterday's video, you'll see this let me zoom in a little bit, the 5-minute. You'll see we kind of struggled to get above this level, this orange line right here, pretty much all day. We had that descending wedge the day before, broke out. That was a great trade. Then this thing pretty much traded sideways most of the day. Today, looks like yesterday was a pretty big consolidation day. Today might be the day that this thing picks up momentum again, and then we have this angular resistance up here. I'm going to clean up some of these lines a little bit. Because we got some time. We got 15 minutes before the open. So you can kind of see what we're looking at here. We're looking at a channel like this. So this could easily trade up to 750 today. That's a really nice trade potential on CVM. If you want to get really technical, which I like to get really technical, we're going to go to 920 right here. We're going to go to 340. And this is a really cool way to look at the 50. This is the minor. So we have the major fib level, which is almost junk. I'm not even going to use it. So we'll just stick with the major right now. And you'll see that 630 is the minor fib retracement. This is a 50% retracement level, which is a good target for this to tag and for price to react at this 630. So really watch that. Oh, let me put in NEWA, N-E-W-A. So Creed is watching NEWA. Wow, look at this move. So here's another one we'll put a retracement on. So 29.69-ish. 861. As close as we can. We're a couple pennies off. So this 50% retracement level is right around 915. And if you look, this thing was in a big falling, you could really call this a falling wedge, descending wedge, broke out, might be trying to get some legs, maybe retrace a little bit. So NEWA, that's a great one. Creed, thank you for that. Briefly back to CVSI, again 50% retracement level, top channel, bottom channel, very self-explanatory stuff on that trade. And let's look at NIHD. Yesterday this had a really great pattern, closed at the high of day, bit of a rising wedge, not really any volume, kind of also has this vector that it broke out of, this resistance broke out of, so that's from the watch list. DNR's got a little bit of volume. DNR's got a great chart and improving fundamentals according to investors.com, which I recommend you guys get a subscription to. We have no affiliation with them, but they're an awesome site. They rate these stocks under $10 and look at their fundamentals really closely and then pick the best ones. And so you can go to investors.com and sub to that 10 under 10 and really look at these cheap penny stocks to go, oh, okay, this one's got a good chart, good setup, and it's rated pretty well on investors.com. So that's for technical traders, which we absolutely, most of us are. It's really nice to just look at the fundamentals. I don't really want to analyze the heck out of a book. I want to know enough to be dangerous and enough to know, hey, there's a reason behind these technicals. There's a reason that this thing is running. It's not just a pump. This company has improving earnings. Their, sales, ROE, debt to equity, stats like that are important, and that is stuff worth looking at on a daily basis. So this is DNR hourly chart at a top of a channel. DNR might pull back to around $5 today, which really isn't that far. It's kind of got a narrow channel, and it might present a good trade. It might trade in a 20-cent range, maybe better. So we'll look at that. We'll look at CHK, had a gap up. Is this an earnings or what is this? They're probably had earnings a few days ago. Okay, so this is a major channel that CHK is in, and it's very, very bullish to see this kind of price action on a weekly chart above these moving averages. You can see on a weekly chart, again, we are above the 50 SMA on the weekly, and the 200 is way up here around 733, and this descending triangle hasn't knocked this down below the 50. So this is an uptrend for now. You could see it struggled many times before, but this is a massive falling wedge and potential massive falling wedge breakout. So if we look at the daily, you can see right here we had a falling wedge, we got out of it. We're going to test the top of this. Here's the 50 SMA in the daily. What you want to see is some type of inverse head and shoulders forming, which we love to see at resistance in big patterns, where you have a head, a shoulder, potentially another shoulder here, and then the breakout, and then that 200 SMA on the weekly is somewhere up in this range, right? So we could see price maybe move up to that level. How stellar would that be? So that is CHK. What else did I have? This is kind of a bigger stock, but this has been stuck in a downtrend. This thing has been stuck in a downtrend like that, and a bit of a falling wedge, and it looks like it is broken out of it with authority. I did not check the news on this, but right now this is in a nice ascending triangle. Good pattern, good bull pattern. Let's see if it gets continuation. Let's see, CVM, UXN. Oh, AMD. I started with a chart on AMD and then I went away. So AMD hourly chart, big ascending triangle, flat top. Price is kind of a little bit outside of it, or got a little bit outside of it already with this move. So I'm just showing this thing's actually already kind of above the flat top, and AMD has a great up channel for hourly resistance around 26 bucks. So you could really see a nice momentum breakout, and AMD hit some. I know there's a lot of haters on AMD and a lot of people who love it as well, but this thing is just been a solid beast, and it's got a very wide megaphone channel and great potential to spend some time up at this upper level in the coming days and weeks. You can just see AMD loves to stay overbought for a month and a half straight. So MDT, no, I did not take a look at MDT yet. MDT has a first glance daily chart, is awesome. It's at the top of the channel after earnings, and it's still hovering at the top of this channel, so maybe a daily momentum breakout. Have to go back a little bit further to see. Wow, it broke out of this massive consolidation range, right? That's a nice authoritative breakout. So this could be starting a new beginning of a new trend, although typically when it hits these overbought levels it's pulled back, so it might be time to wait for a retest. Maybe in 2 weeks, wait for it to pull back and test the top of this line, get a little bit more support from the 9 and the 20, the 50 potentially. So that is the story there. DNR, AMD, we've covered a lot. CVSI. we can look at Cron, because a lot of eyes are still on this stock. Weekly chart is massive volume, big old weekly candle. You could see really we're on this one pretty well yesterday. Nice uptrends, pullbacks, and stuck in this big triangle. At the end of the day, power hour for a little bit, we were on top of this for the last half hour of the day, and it closed, kind of had a nice close right underneath that 830 resistance. That was a level we were watching to be hit, and now we've kind of pulled back. Might be another consolidation day for Cron, or potentially moving lower after 1, 2, 3, I guess you could maybe say 4 days, maybe 5 days of moving up, of gains. This might be ready to pull back to some of these lower levels, maybe 689. It's kind of a long ways to go, so if you can borrow shares on Cron, look for maybe a pullback. But again, this is already starting to look a little bit bullish here at the open. Remember 815 from yesterday, watch that for pullbacks around that level. Just reading the chat. Good morning, Big Bear. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We got Cron, we do have CGC. Excuse all my trend lines, I have multiple fibs. I'm looking at potential pullback to 36.60 today on CGC after consolidation. If it doesn't hold 37.59, look for a pullback to lower 36.60. So you can borrow shares on CGC. This might be a good temporary short, very short term. You can see on the daily chart, we had this doji right at the top, and the daily might be, the daily is going to be opening, let's see, 30, it's closed at 38.58. Where are we at right now? So we're above that. All right, so where did we close right here? No, we're below it. 38.70. So this is going to be opening lower on the day, but this is a very strong momentum stock, very far from the 9. It might be time for at least a little bit of a daily pullback here, maybe even more. Be prepared. This could be an epic short. Everybody's bullish on this stock, but that doesn't mean that it's not technically going to pull back. You can see the last time it went on this really nice run. Look at these crazy candles. Look at that pin bar, that just huge kind of like hanging man. And then an engulfing bearish, and then boom, it had like 3 bearish days. So we're already moving pretty high off of lows around 24 bucks, guys, right? So be prepared for a massive amount of profit taking. Obviously, you know, the bulls are in control with this one, but these pullbacks happen, and they happen quick. So that's it. So top stocks, AMD as usual, UXIN maybe pull back to this trend line. We'll have to see. It's kind of got a wide channel that it could potentially trade in. Netflix is looking awesome this morning. This is from our swing trade watch list. You've got kind of a inverted head and shoulders here forming. Just see it really quick right here. Head, possible shoulder, breakout. 405 would be a target on Netflix for the bulls. I'll revisit the swing trades a little bit later, but if you guys get our swing trade watch list, we got some good alerts set up for that. All right, now we watch the high a day scanner. Good luck, everybody. And we see what's what. What's futures doing as well? Futures are having a bullish open, so we might see some of the big boys move first, make their moves, while the small caps pull back. I could see USEG hitting the high-day scanner right from the get-go. Hourly candle so far has got a really high wave, but there's a lot of buying volume right here. So I'm watching CVSI, potential trade on CVSI. UXIN is getting flushed to that lower trend line here. So watch for a potential reversal buy. Very oversold. Netflix and Boeing have kind of already started their runs. Oh shit. I just spilled some of my drink. Oh, I just had a kombucha explode on me. That's the first time that's happened. I guess it's water for now. Costs. That's actually on our watch list as well. We didn't talk about this one. It's got very light volume, but it's got a good price range, with 460 being a potential top on costs. Looks like AMD is bullish out of the gate. CVSI is bullish out of the gate. So there was that 50% retracement level we were looking for, potential entry, and 703 potential profit zone. So now we kind of have this, we're at the top of that channel from the pre-market. Let's see if we break through this, or if it acts as resistance. Maybe we pull back. It's kind of the bottom of it. We got a narrow channel on this. Maybe retest. We're right now we're dojing off of VWAP. This currently has the nicest up channel that I'm seeing beyond beyond KO. Well, KOSS still doesn't have the volume, so we're gonna wait for the volume. So look for a little pullback here, at the very least. Hit the top of that channel. That's very normal. Cron coming up on the VWAP scanner. I can't find it on my chart. Oh, there it is. Cron's in the red right now. However, 815, there's that elusive 815. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set an alert for close. We want to close above, let's say 819. That's where that wick was. Let's zoom out. So that'll put us into potential 830, 835 land if we can get out of that. Otherwise, Cron's got some downside room to fall down to 784. All right, UXIN. So here's where the bulls are coming, right on that trend line. So see this hammer? This is getting bought right here. Oversold. This move is kind of just starting. You got to watch these moving averages to see if they hold it down. But this could go back up. This could make a 50-cent move right now, back up to this trend line, because this is a pretty decent buying off this oversold and off this channel. And you can see right here, we also have this channel. Right, so we got a lot. We got two angular supports supporting this right now. So This is looking pretty good. These are good volume candles right here, right around 50,000 shares. Look for this to continue. Look for 650. Right now we're on the 9. Really good signal right here. Want to close above the 9. Nice volume. A little bit of a doji here. Let's see. A little bit of profit taking from this hammer. Maybe double test this bottom. And you've got there. You've got this line as well. You guys can see it right here. So I'd actually look at this trend line more as resistance, and then this one. So you've got 2 price targets on that. I don't think these moving averages are going to hold this down much. Here we go. So this would be number 1, 630, and then 650. Man, costs. Freaking costs is hit that level. Look at that. Crazy volume right up there to 460 and then profit taking. I don't know if anyone took this trade or not, but these are 2 massive 5-minute candles for costs, and that's from our watch list, guys. That is straight out of the watch list. We gave alerts for this and everything. So let's see on the daily chart. Wow. Let's go back a little further. Yep, so this is pretty major resistance around this 460. Don't seeing it doing much more than that today, but could be wrong. Let's go back to UXIN. UXIN breaking this angular. Great sign. Still got room to 650 with this volume base. The volume trend is still moving up. So look for a blowout candle to hit this top at 650, and you want to sell into strength. Sell into those bullish candles so you can get that good fill, that good finish fill. But pretty textbook hammer right here, guys. Right? So we're in this triangle right here. Need to really break this right angle and get the volume to push this to 650. Sure. Nua needs to break 1127 to even make a run for this 1390. So you pretty much need to recapture all of this. I mean, it's bouncing off oversold, but until it gets above this, call it 1130, you know, makes this red to green move and kind of fills this, maybe makes a cup and handle, inverse head and shoulders. I wouldn't take a trade on this till it starts trading above this level. All right, so looks like this trend line is holding it down a little bit, but it's still got support at the 9. Let's see the 5-minute candle. 5-minute candle looks good. This looks okay. So it might get a little bit of a flag here. And then your next run. Look on the next run to break this. And then test this trend line. What else are you guys watching? I've got 6 charts up here to my left. CHK is doing nothing. COS is sold since it hit that 460. CVSI trading out of that channel a little bit. Yep, EXAS earnings, right? Continuation, yeah, broke that pennant. Good call. Here we go. Here we go, breaking out of this. Had a pennant and it's breaking out of this, wow. Where's this thing headed? Here's where it's headed. Right up here. Right there. 65.25. Top. Maybe even a little lower. Maybe even 65 bucks. That is a good target. That's a good move right there. That is a good move right here. Watch for 64, 84.85, 65 bucks on EXAS today. That's a 250 move. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. UXIN still holding strong right in this riding this kind of 9 and 20 right now with these light selling dojis, a little bit of confusion, buyers and sellers battling it out right here under this trend line. Nice job on UNIX, Ben. Good for you, brother. That's why it's a good idea to have, you know, have a set of charts and a monitor that you can kind of watch and say, oh, out of the 6 I'm watching, here's the best pattern, whether it's a reversal pattern or a momentum breakout. But as far as for bullishness, UXIN has been the best for reversal. Everything else has kind of popped and dropped a little bit at the open. You know, Koss had a nice bullish play if you caught it. MYND hitting the high of day. MYND, decent volume. We got a hanging man candle here, but a lot of buying volume. 223 and 270. Be very careful with this one. Very, very careful. This one can change direction very quickly. And it's trapped in this descending triangle. So I really don't like this below 208. Call it 210. Anything below 210, I'm very skeptical. And even just this $2 mark, it's really got to break actually both of these levels for me to want to take a trade and have a good pullback to shoot for that 270 range today. And it's already up 33%. And this one, really don't trust it because of that descending triangle, which is intersecting right around here at $2, 205. Looks like UXIN did not like the right angle. Did not like this this trend line here. You can see it pretty clear on the 1-minute chart. So maybe a double test here. A lot of selling volume. Maybe hit oversold again. AMD looks like it's trying to get its bearings here. It didn't crash below this level, which is good. So this is sort of looking very bullish on AMD. This might be one of those breakout days. And it could be a big breakout day for AMD. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Like to see it break this high a day. Maybe an inverse head and shoulders here. Cup and handle. So what do we say about NUA? NUA we want to see, first of all, get above UAP. Secondly, get above this 1127 area. This is off by a couple pennies. But it's a pretty close, you could see how it's been respecting and oscillating around this 1127 area. But then you've got a nice couple dollar move, potentially up to this 13, you know, 1380, 1390, $14. KOSS might be getting ready to make its second move. Looks like it's pulled back quite a bit, but might be being bought. Right here, right off this trend line. Volume is relatively high for KOSS right now. It's got high relative volume, so maybe another test of this 460 coming. Watch for VWAP crossover, so that's a good 30-cent move after crossing VWAP. Same with CVSI. So CVSI kind of fell out of the channel, right? But then got picked up at 630. So there's still this $7 move we want to watch on CVSI. Right now that is support. So we'll get rid of those channels. So we might have an ascending triangle right here. It looks like we do. I'm going to get rid of my studies briefly so you guys can see the pattern. You guys see this ascending triangle set up now? A little bit too cramped for an inverse head and shoulders within it, but watch for a squeeze as we get closer to this apex, and a really good signal to take profit at around $7. It looks more than possible. Remember, we have this up channel here, so really focus on the candlesticks. See what else is moving. Dang, Netflix is just on a tear. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful play on Netflix. Has resistance right up here. So that's intraday. But it's got some bigger daily resistance up around 360. So that's from the watch list, guys. Pretty perfect. Alert fired off and bam. What's up, Dean? It's always nice when Dean drops in. Dean, you're pretty much a good luck charm, because when you show up, there's usually some good stocks to trade, so you should show up more often. I've noticed that about you. I'll call you the rabbit's foot. So Netflix in this possible up channel here. Let's see if this holds. What's Kron doing? There you go. 815 rejected. What did I say? 784. Look at that flush. Toilet flush. 784. Next would be 752. Very, very reasonable short target, unless it gets out of this wedge first. It pretty much intersects right around there at 752. It looks like UXIN making another attempt. Once it breaks this right angle, guys, it's on. This one will be on. You can see these wicks didn't want to do it, didn't want to do it. CHK, maybe mounting a run. There's a lot of stocks that are kind of thinking about. They're in great accumulation patterns for a potential breakout. Man, freaking MYND is, after that big pullback, is thinking about mounting another run here. Let's see, NUA still, look at that, 11, doesn't want to break this. Pretty interesting. Does not want to break this 1140 didn't like, but this could be considered a potential flag pattern in here. So maybe we'll get a flag pull out up like that. CGC heading, there it is. So here's the pullback, guys. If you could get shares of this, I mentioned this morning. This is going to falling wedge, potentially all the way down to here. But this is the momentum on this. So it might spill out either further down or up, most likely up once it hits this 3660, but then sometimes these falling wedges turn into big bear flags like that, right? And then they'll double and sometimes triple test this 50% minor retracement level. So look for this to really play out that way. Wow, Goliath. Yeah, it looks like pot stocks are pulling back today. It's a dump day for them. Some of these things have been moving 3, 4, 5 days, so that's where they start to kind of fizzle out, and fizzle they will. Yep. KOSS has retested 460. KOSS is now in a potential cup and handle forming here at 460. You got a big move to 527. Big move to 527. Let's see it close above 460 to kick it off. Or actually more in a pennant right now. So all it needs is volume, guys. So the Beatles would say all you need is love, which is, you know, a very true statement. But I would also say all you need is volume. If we get the buying volume, not yet. It's not ready yet. Oof, look at that. Let's see if the buyers still come in here. Let's see, this bull pattern could be breaking down. Yep. This might be pulling back. Yeah. So RDFN consolidation. It's really RDFN. I would wait for price to draw a trend line from 3 days ago and extend it to the right. Wait for RDFN to test the bottom of it and look for a buy somewhere in here, and then maybe the self-fulfilling prophecy of an ascending triangle on RFDN. NUA still hovering around 1130-ish. UXIN, is it getting above? No, not yet. See, UXIN, once this gets above, I like how it's tested it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So watch for volume to come in. There's still a lot of sellers holding this down. at 610, 611. So this actually might become a down channel like this. Could be like this. I'm not really sure yet where the potential down channel is, because I've really only got one clean pivot point like that. Let's see, CVM. Where's CVM on my list? Is it red? Yep. CVM playing with 153 right now on volume. Possible inverse head and shoulders forming. Look for it to break 157 to complete that pattern. I can actually shrink my Zoom screen to fit my screen so you guys don't have all that open space. Let me do that for you. So now it's going to be fit to the screen a little bit better. I just don't want to do that for YouTube, because some people are watching on YouTube and it would cut off the screen quite a bit. Awesome. Glad to hear that. If you guys ever see something, just ask. Yep, Sono is looking good. Sono, top of this channel, has been 23 bucks for a while. That was the kind of the high in this zone, and it's got a lot of resistance around 2158. It looks like, though. You can see the 4 hour did not want to get much higher than that, so you got to really watch. You got to really watch this whole price area right here. Might be a little late on Sono, but maybe an inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Look for a right shoulder to maybe form in this price box. Maybe set an alert above 22.25 on that. UXIN still can't break the right angle. Lots of consolidation. Great job, awesome, Maximus. Let's go, let's see. EXAS. This has got a great pattern right here. You can see this kind of pennant or ascending triangle is still playing out. Got a little bit more room to run to 64.90s, 65 bucks. Yeah, that's a happy face. Great. Awesome to hear, man. Awesome. Maximus has been watching our videos. He's learning. That's great. You guys are doing great. Freaking UNIX will not break. You can see the volume trend getting lighter and lighter, and it's early. So if we can get a volume trend reversal, we'll get our 660. We will get 660 if we break this, but we need to break that, and it doesn't want to let us. So what can we say? We need a big buyer. CHAK broke out of that falling wedge. Resistance at 470. Really big run possible on CHAK. It doesn't typically move that way. However, we are at a major daily, weekly, angular resistance right now. So CHAK could go parabolic above that, above this trend line. It's very, very apparent in this level. So it would have to clear above mid 470s. Creed, the meme master. I'm gonna pass the torch. I'm not doing memes anymore. I'm just gonna let Creed do them all. So AGEN, top of the channel here, around $2. Ooh, okay. Yep, I remember this pattern. So the problem with it is it's bigger than we think it is. So risk reward not very good at this level. So I would not be a buyer on AGEN yet. Would like to really see it momentum break out of this right angle. Oh, there we go. While I'm distracted, look what's happening on UXIN. We're starting to get outside of this right angle, and now it looks like 620 would be a good buy signal. So we could get out of it a little bit, and we're kind of in this right now, and we're kind of in this right now. So we got a couple different things happening here. Yeah, it's fine. You guys wait for these setups. So there's a perfect setup on UXIN. This could be your one trade of the day. If it breaks this level that I'm highlighting right here, then and gets volume, this could push it all the way up to 650. That's a great pattern to wait for. Cron, you can see right here, falling wedge. Possible cup and handle inversion head and shoulders. This could get back up to 815 very easily once it completely clears this falling wedge and this 784 level. You could get a good entry right now potentially, and even 793 is kind of resistance. So that's 784, that's 10 cents. Your risk would be a stop let's see, so it's at 780, so you would want your stop to be 775, your profit to be 793, or even a penny sooner, and you're looking for a break of 784, but that's how you manage your risk. You can make 10 cents, you can lose 5 cents, right? CHAK is moving up to that 470 and then taking, so CHAK might be a good short right now because it doesn't look like it's going to break this level. So what you're looking for on a short on CHAK, now it can still be a really good long if it breaks out of these levels of 472. 470, 472, you really want it to leave these two trend lines behind, but right now, let's see if this gets rejected. You could actually get a, be nice to see maybe like a double bottom intraday, back around 460. So that would be, your target would be this and this. Okay, Nua's making a move. Remember we were talking about 1127-ish. And it's making its move now. And it's in this channel. I don't know why my trend line keeps doing that. Sorry, guys. Maybe I'm moving too fast. So here we go. This is the channel on NUA right now. So a lot of people bought this candle to break out. They're going to sell close to the top here. It'll probably pull back here, and we'll see if we get some type of waves up to this 1390 level. I haven't checked, but is gold, let's look at the gold chart real quick. So there's some good patterns for you guys to watch. I'm going to briefly cover gold that I've been waiting for a buy signal on not GDX. Why can't I think of the GLD? Been waiting to buy some GLD option contracts and trade a spread. And I'm really looking for, this is the weekly chart of gold. I'm looking for a good pop off this low and for gold to maybe make a run up to the mid 20s to upper or to low 40s to get a good entry. But I'd like to get an entry off this line here, and I might be getting my good weekly signal. It's only Wednesday, but I'm looking at this candle very closely right now on the weekly, and I'm looking at the daily. The daily on gold is right now showing, I keep waiting for these right angles to be broken on GC, and until it breaks this and closes above, what I would like to see happen is I'd like to see this be a head, this be a shoulder, and another shoulder right here with a break right here, and then completely just steamroll through and start to move up at least to 1270s, if not higher, because we got such a major channel on gold. And you could even see as high as 1350s again later this year. So looks like NUA doesn't want to close. There we go, top of that channel. Now this could just blow out and just continue to move up to 1390s. So you guys are all over this in the trade room. That is great to see. Potential profit taking right here at the top of the channel. If you are long from in here, take profit here and wait for this to pull back somewhere on this. That's okay to do. It's look at this high wave is kind of indecision. It's not the best signal to see at the top of a channel. NUA's got a 6 million float, so that's this is a really nice mover, and it's up 38% for the day. Wow, this might continue still. Be very careful right here, guys. Up below 1279, below 1279. You want to see a close above 1279 on a 1 minute candle. There's a lot, yeah. So great point. So today, take your pick. Take your pick on what you want to trade. Take your pick on the patterns you like, on the setups. CHAK is still holding strong. CVSI has a good setup. This is obviously a fantastic setup. If this closes above 1280, then that's a signal for this to pull a little bit higher still. This is probably riding the 9 right now. Let's see, load study set. For forgive my chart for a moment. So this is above the 9 still. Still, wow, it did close above. It hasn't quite closed yet. It's very close to closing. I'd still be very cautious with this right here. See you, John. Have a good day, man. Thanks for joining us today. You guys are awesome. CHAK still hovering around this level. Very interesting to see. Very low volume. Accumulation volume up around this level. See you tomorrow, brother. And wow, there's just setups everywhere right now, guys. I can't watch them all. I can't watch them all today. This is a phenomenal day. Absolutely phenomenal. UXIN still waiting. Could be a late day mover at this point. The way it's just not liking 617. Costs might be getting ready to break out of this falling wedge. Keep an eye on costs. Let's see what. So there it is, 36.65, close enough. Then it had some hammers. So there's pretty much CGC. Possible maybe double bottom like we said off of 36.60. So that might be the extent of the profit taking on CGC today. That's a nice minor retracement. Minor retracement completed to completion here. And let's see, I'm going to take up a part. Yep. Cron, inverse head and shoulders breakout of a falling wedge. Right? Falling wedge. And I feel like I drew this already on Cron, but just so you guys can see, shoulder, shoulder, VWAP, perfect area to break that, and now your target would be 815. 815 target on Cron, maybe retest after VWAP. A lot of these VWAP breaks will pull back, especially after making a inverse head and shoulders. This is the reward that a lot of people were waiting for. I think a lot of eyes are still on NUA. Here it is, bottom of the channel now on NUA. Bottom of the channel. Right on, Jake. So here we go. Look for a test. Top of the channel. 13.20, 25. 13.30 again. 13.20. Anywhere 13.20. 13.20 to 13.30. Potential on NUA. Right here at the 9. So manage your risk. Your stop is below this channel. Your profit is the top of this channel. What do you guys want me to stay on? Let's hear a vote. What chart do you guys want me to stay on right now? Okay. 2 for NUA. Sorry, iRoar. All right. I like that idea. 6 million float. Great pattern. Let's see, resistance 1490, 13. Where's the horizontal right here? $13, 1337. What's the, okay, let's look at the 15 minute. This just finished. 15-minute candle. huge buying volume. Room to run there. Room to run here. 15 more minutes until this engulfs that. 5 minute high wave. Possible hammer here at the bottom of this channel. So buyers are buying along the bottom of this channel. You've got 1, 2, should be one more wave on this right here. One more good wave on this to get to the top of this channel. So let's see a green hammer here. That would be nice. Yep. Here we go. Little hammer here. Let's get an engulfing candle here off the 9 and 1330. Yes, it does, Creed. Has anyone ever been to Puerto Rico and gone to the Bacardi? Done the Bacardi tour? It's incredible. So Creed just mentioned green hammer sounds like an insane Bacardi shot, and I had the best. I'm not a big pina colada drinker, but they had the best pina coladas there. All right, so we're waiting for NUA to pounce like a puma to 1330. You know, as we move up this channel, this our profit zone continues to move up as well. Oh yeah, they're see BD Jesus knows what I'm talking about. They are absolutely the best in the world. Actually, in most places in Puerto Rico, they have the best pina coladas, but I really did like them at the factory. All right, so watching this channel, let's see, we got a little bit more room off of this, but the volume has really died out, so this might be getting ready to fail, guys. If it does, do not continue to hold past this trend line. Don't give your profit back. It could still be. Let's see, where's the 5-minute candle? We got 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. Really needs to hold. There is room to run still. So it's already kind of technically dojied off that. So we need the buyers to come in and save. Want the buyers to come in and save this. Yep, UXIN broke out of that triangle that we drew just now, and it's above 1625, but a lot of sellers are going to sell that pop, so wait for a retest. Yep, I'm not liking the setup on NUA right now. I'm not liking this. You got 1 minute left on the 5-minute candle, and it's closing lower than this high wave. Again, it could pull back all the way to, at this point, you guys might want to wait till a touch of 1173. That's a lot lower on NUA. That's the 9 EMA. So, and that's right off of this candle right here. And you got VWAP. So, yep, stay away from NUA. UXIN massively flushed after everybody took profit from the triangle. Cron is breaking out. We showed you guys Cron a little bit earlier. You could see right here, there's the inverse head and shoulders. We talked about a retest of VWAP a few minutes ago. You got a green hammer off of VWAP. There's the 9 EMA. All the buyers loved this hammer, and they want 815. They're waiting for 815. And then maybe a bigger. This actually could be a bigger inverse head and shoulders forming. Yeah, it very well could be. So maybe we get a breakout. Maybe we get a breakout of this 815, 818 level. That would be super. Yep. Yeah. Good call. So lower indicators definitely helped with managing risk on NUA. Right now, Cron and UXIN and maybe volume's a little low on cost, but CHAK is still hanging out. I'm going to stick with, let me just check NUA one more time. So there's that touch of that 372 level we were looking at on NUA. I don't think I'm ready to buy this yet. But I'm close. I'm close to liking this again. Red hammer, green candle. So we want to see a green candle close above the 9. And this could get back in this channel. I think that flushed out a lot of people. Let's get rid of this one. I'm going to stay with NUA. Yeah, let's look at candlestick close price. So right now, candlestick close needs to close above this line right here. This red line. Once we get a close above this red line, that's a stronger signal. You gotta believe in your trend lines. Believe in the power of trend lines, because this has not broken this right angle yet, and until it does, you won't see it really move. But you're right, the 5-minute kind of has a bigger bull flag on it, and it's already dojied off the 9, and you just want to see that close above it, and then we can get back into this widening channel megaphone pattern. Yep, pure technicals. No emotions, no BS, just technicals and hard work. Creed with the jokes. Yep. So NUA says 6 million on my chart for NUA. Nice job, Creed. So we're flirting with getting outside. Want to see a big volume candle. Right now the volume's kind of low. It's people are accumulating this at the 9 and at this right angle, and you might see a push to 13 bucks coming rather quickly and then some quick profit taking. So that's what you're trying to set up and see. I think you guys got this one under control. I'm going to quickly look at CYTX member request. This is a ascending triangle. There's a ascending triangle set up here, kind of, well, with a wedge, with a bigger ascending triangle down here. So I would look for this to trade inside this price box with a flat top, potential flat top breakout, breaking the high of day. Look for a retest after, but that's what you're looking at with that. I really want to cover Cron right now because Cron still has not gotten to 815 area, but I think it's got great potential. It's currently riding that trend line right there. So Cron, look for 815 profit off of this trend line coming soon, coming very soon, and then a possible bigger inverse head and shoulders breakout. We'll look at Apple. You have a 115 call, or do you mean two? I think you mean 215, unless you're super in the money, wealthy. How much is a 115 call? So Apple's in this wedge right now, and the daily chart is suggesting maybe a pullback as low as the 9 EMA. Hasn't touched it in several weeks. So when's it going to touch the 9? Well, around 212. 212.68. So that would be my entry, would be the 9 EMA on Apple. That's where I would wait. No worries. So depending on how much pain you can take in your expiration, you definitely didn't get the best entry on your call. I mean, ideally you can see even right here on the hourly that it's already broken. It's broken this one. Next one is this one. It's already trading below this angular support. So 212, the 9 EMA is somewhere down here. And even got trend line support even lower. So you probably want to stick with selling a call spread on Apple, a bear call spread, until it hits 212, or maybe even buying a, in the money put. I don't think it's ready to break out of this 220 level yet. So Cron hit 815, guys, and that's a beautiful thing. What a great inverse head and shoulders spot. UXIN is fighting really hard to make a red to green move, and according to this nice half-hour candle setup, which is about to finish, this is a pretty nice tweezer bottom on the half-hour chart, and it looks like we're breaking. We broke this right angle. What do we say? 650, 650 on UXIN. I would think that's coming very soon. UXIN 650 very soon. Nice 5-minute setup, 5-minute chart, super clean at this point. Testing a little bit of, well, we broke that, and that's the 5-minute. Let's see, looks like that keeps fanning out. Yeah, I think 650 is the profit level. So look for 650, maybe a little bit sooner. Watch the candles in the level 2 on UXIN. 645, 650, somewhere in that range on UXIN. Oh, there's so many good setups today, guys. I can't wait for consistency in the market in these small caps. Once we start seeing this, there'll be days like this all the time. I know it's been really hard, and if you're a new trader and you're getting discouraged because it seems like there's no bull patterns, like everything's just like pop and drop short, days like this are coming, and they're plentiful throughout the year. But there's going to be low volume, bad months where the Bears are in control on a lot of these, and a lot of the action's pre-market, and then a lot of bag holders selling. But I mean, look at UXIN. We're pushing right now. We are steamrolling. We got 647 resistance, and then maybe even 655. But really watch out for right now 647, 650. Nice job, Big Bear. So look for a little bit of profit taking. I see you guys are raising your hands. I'm not sure if you're doing that on purpose or just clicking, but if you want to type a question in our chat room, our main chat room, but not the Zoom chat room, I can try to answer your question. So maybe 5 more cents on UXIN. Look for 5 more pennies. Potentially. I'd really want to see 645, but it might not. Looks like it's sort of doging off this trend line a little bit. Oh, that's a lot of sellers right here. All right, so UXIN might be pulling back right here to 629. 629 is a 9 EMA, so maybe look for a little pullback on that. Wait for another setup. I think that was a pretty decent move off the lows from $6. It looks like it kind of got, the wick got kind of close to this right angle, and now it's slowing down. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys about Walmart briefly. Walmart there's trendline resistance, or a Fibonacci resistance, 96.88. It hit it. It already crossed the 50% retracement level at 92.53 on earnings, and now you want to see an hourly or 4-hour close above 96.88 for an entry, and you might want to let it pull back to here. You might want to let it pull back to here. Right now it's trapped in this triangle. Maybe it pulls back to this 92.53, but for patient buyers are going to wait for a good entry after earnings and wait for a pullback. And right now it's trapped underneath this right angle. So draw this triangle, put on 92.53 on your chart and 96.88, and you'll have your fib levels. Or watch my Fibonacci video and you can draw these levels yourself by going to the daily high of 109.98, off by a little bit. But draw it from the daily high, and where the heck did I get this bottom of 75.16? I don't even know why I went this low. Was I looking at a weekly chart? What the heck? What inspired me to draw that down to that level? Let me remove this. Let's see, 109. $109.98. Let's see, what was the low? 81.12. 81.20. Let's see. So there you go. So it did. It crossed. Wow, it actually already pulled back to the 50% right here. Right around 95.60. 95.50 in that range. But still, the pattern is here. There's their triangle. Yep, Kron's breaking out of that inverse head and shoulders. You guys see it? Big old inverse head and shoulders breakout. 818 was triggered while I was distracted. And now it really needs to try to break 820, 822. Yep, knew it broke this right angle. Don't worry, Goliath. You'll bounce back, brother. Want to be really, really strict with your trend lines. And once it really broke this one right here, it was kind of kaput. Let's see, UNIX. Still pushing to that 650 level. So what do we say? We thought it would pull back to the 9 EMA, and it did. They put a hammer right at the 9 EMA, guys, right at 629. If you guys rewind the tape later, you'll see that I kind of expected this to pull back to the 9 and then run, and then we're now currently testing that 650 level. $650 level is a $0.50 acting as resistance. Where RSI levels are currently at 70. This might be a little bit of a topping. If you were long on this one, this is where you would want to take profit. Wait for a retest, wait for this right angle to break it down. Got a lot of selling volume too, right at this level. So I think UXIN is pretty much done right here. I'll eat those words if I'm wrong, but right now I'm going to stick on Kron, because Kron is about to make a red to green move for the day, and Kron is in a massive up channel like it likes to do. We go to the 5, you could see how it did this. This ran for, what's this, 15, almost an hour in a similar pattern, and then pulled back, ran a little bit more, pulled back, and the pattern is much more bullish right now on Kron than it was yesterday in these price levels. And Kron is going to have to deal with about 834. That is the next level of resistance on Kron, is 834. Wow, looks like UXIN did hit on my chart. Looks like it hit 654. It looks like it's starting to you see these dojis on UXIN starting to pull back. I'm watching it off on the other side. I would look for a decent sized pullback on Cron at this point. Maybe try to get filled around 816. Let's see, the 820 is the 9 EMA. Try to get filled maybe somewhere in that range. And then you've got a 15-cent move on Cron to take advantage of. And that would probably, this is a major resistance at 834 on Cron. So watch that. Looks like somebody, it looks like there was a lot of fills at that 820 level, that 9 EMA. So let's see if this gets a push to 834. Currently kind of really hitting overbought levels, but you can see this blowout finish with a blow off top at this level. It's so close to it, and it's really been accumulated pretty nice along the 9. Rosie wants some advice on Galt. Galt is currently in no man's land. Very, very low volume. Bottom of a support level. Just super low volume. There's no day traders currently watching Galt. There might be some. I shouldn't say none. Galt has a trend line support right around here. So Rosie, go back and do a 5-day, 5-minute chart, and draw your trend line, extend it off. And when you see price start to hit this trend line, that is where buyers might come in, but it's going to be later in the morning, so don't be surprised if they don't. It might just be, you know, just a accumulation type day. You know, below the 9 EMA on the 5, that's Galt. Back to Cron. Cron is still 4 cents away from making a red to green move. Still waiting for 834 profit on Cron. Tell you what, I haven't had to look at the VWAP scanner all day because our morning watch list is just awesome. I mean, we've got some big net gainers. EXAS is still flirting with 63. 63.32 was the high a day. I think this thing could still hit 65 today. That is a big winner. Netflix is in a nice wedge. Target was on the watch list. That's doing pretty well today. We'll skip NUA. Whoops. Covered that one a lot. Boeing, bullish. UXIN stuck currently 650. I'm still waiting for a flush on this one for maybe another move. I don't like buying at these levels on UXIN. Run was on the list. I left run on. Cost is in a channel. AMD inverse head and shoulders breakout today. AMD looks like it broke a couple levels of angular resistance today, so that's always nice to see. This is a really big one. I think a very big potential chart setup on CHK. Again, I showed you guys why. It's got this major angular resistance that we're dealing with on the, let's see, daily chart. You can see it really well on the daily right here. We're like right up in it, right? So once we get out, CHAK could really run today. Cron, there we go. So profits hit on Cron. That's what we wanted. So My Bare Feet asks a question. If a stock is having a hard time breaking out, then why would you assume that it will continue to rise and buy at that time? So these type of patterns are bullish patterns, and I showed you guys a couple things. So finally profit taking on Cron around 834. So these are bullish patterns that are having a hard time with, you know, maybe an inverse head and shoulders. This one didn't really have a hard time with it, so maybe this isn't a good example. But this was in a triangle plus an inverse head and shoulders. It broke out, and then that's a momentum play. So this broke out of a bullish pattern on momentum above a major resistance line around 815 that it struggled with. So you would expect maybe a light retest like it got right here, and then continuation to the next level of resistance. And that's one of the factors to look at. You also look at volume. Big buying volume here. Nice chasing right through here. Sellers. And then the momentum. There's your momentum right here. 1, 2, 3 big volume candles, and then a big selling candle right here at resistance. So, I mean, perfect play. Cron is a perfect textbook play. And there's some other good advice being typed in our trade room about that stuff. I'll let you guys do that. Really appreciate you guys helping answer that question. Cron is at the bottom of a channel. Major resistance was breached at 834. We had a close above it, and we still have potential for Cron to continue in this up channel as we make a red to green move. We are up 2 cents. We are now in the green. So now this is a newer situation where we really want to see the bottom of this channel hold, but making it, see, we're already kind of going back into the red. We're fighting to make a red to green move. It's very possible we do a retest on this 815. This is a very big move for Cron from 760. So I'll take a look at NUA for you, Goliath. VWAP held it up. So got support at VWAP, a little bit of support from the 9 right now. This trend line held it down. Now you've got, let's see, if I go from the wicks, you've got there. If I go from the candlestick close, which I prefer, you have there. So kind of broke out of this descending triangle, and you've got resistance now around, really resistance keeps moving up on this one, but you've got a lot of horizontal at 1250, and then once you break 1250 on NUA, you might be able to make another trade to, so here's 1250, you might be able to make a trade to this anywhere on this trend line. I still think 1390 is possible today. If we get above 1250, we might trade in this type of pattern. But until then, you know, you can set your alert, you know, create an alert with your drawing, or set an alert above 1250 to take an eye at, or take a look at NUA. So that's kind of it on that. Let's look at Cron. Slipped back into the red. So Cron is slipping out of this. So profit was hit. Sellers are predictably coming in. RSI starting to cool off. Volume starting to cool off. Look for a retest at 815 or possible consolidation in 825 for a head and shoulders, and then a test at 815 and maybe even pull all the way back to VWAP. It's still a penny stock, so this could the self-fulfilling prophecy of a head and shoulders. Once this breaks, I'm out. I'm out of a trade on this trend line. This hit a great profit zone. Head, shoulder, possible shoulder, break of that line. Next would be 815, and then next would be your VWAP that continues to move up, would be the next support, and then maybe you'll see an ascending triangle. That was a horrible triangle, but you get the idea. Yeah, did it? I think one of my alerts just went off. Nope, it didn't. Did it? Cron, price condition, triggered, Netflix. Okay. I think that was just a thinkorswim. Yeah, I think Power Hour could be very good for us today. I agree. This was a really good morning. And I'm seeing even some reversals on some bearish stocks right now, like CVM. CVM, big buy me candle. 50,000 shares breaking out of a falling wedge. You guys see the falling wedge here? We're getting above the 9. VWAP is at 152. There's not really a lot of room to run on CVM. So, but just to give you guys another example of a potential setup. Let's see, AMD still possible tweezer top. 2 more minutes, we'll see if this pulls back to the 9 EMA. It's only 5 cents. UXIN, 5 minute, looks like it's pulling back to 637. Maybe it actually already has. Yeah, it looks like it already did, but it still might be. Yeah, it's still pulling back. So I'd be looking for maybe 629, 628, somewhere in that range on UXIN again. Let me clear this chart just to show you guys what I mean. So you see these, like, you know, what we would call a bullish belt hold of price around $6, and it kind of rounds out, and then 5 minute chart got back above the 9, came pretty close to this overbought level on VWAP. And what you have for a pattern is really you've got this and you've got this. So you buy at support, you sell at resistance. Tweezer top on the 5 minute, continuation down to the 9, should see continuation as low as 610, as low as 610 on UXIN. See you, Big Bear. So, okay. Yep. So we're looking for a pullback on that to there. Let's see. Looks like CVM is getting a little bit of a pop. Zynga, possible pop. This is from the watch list this morning. Zynga's in a wedge. Creed, that's a great idea. Do you want to write it? No, I can do it. Yeah, if you made one, that would be awesome. And what I'll do is I'll hyperlink it. So you know how you guys see those orange links in our chat room? Those link to blog posts. Like I'll give an example. Right now, let me find a pattern that makes sense. Oh, CVM. So I'll bring it up and I'll type CVM. And then I'll type falling. So you can see how I typed falling wedge in our chat room, and that was hyperlinked. That'll go to a blog post that will teach you guys that pattern. We also have our wallpapers, and we have our candlestick courses. We have our candlestick ebook, which gets you to study the heck out of these patterns, and that can really help you as a trader, is learning these patterns and picking up these terms. But I agree that a top list of terms for day trading would be very helpful for a lot of our members. Great idea, Creed. Yeah, it looks like NUA is flirting with 1250. But again, it's might be forming an inverse head and shoulders. 5 minutes looking a little bullish. Volume is a little light. So I want to be very skeptical of closes in the 1250, 1255 range. But okay, so it just got hit. We want to see a close. You still have these wicks around 1268. So if you bought somewhere in the 1250s, you got to watch next for 1268. You guys can see it right there. Wick, 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 wick. There's 4 of them that potentially hold this down. But the buying volume was pretty nice. You could see a bunch of buyers kind of came in right there. But 1265, 1268, watch that level. Really use the 9 EMA as your stop, because the 9 has been holding this up. So any candlestick closes where the majority of the candle closes below the 9, I would use as a stop, especially at these levels right in here. Don't play with it. Okay, what do we say about Cron? Fell out of that channel, pulled back to 815. Maybe now you have a right angle to trade on Cron. It's underneath that right angle, and you want to see it get back above for maybe another test. Watch for double tops. If it breaks this right angle on volume, you could see 834, 835 again. Maybe another inverse head and shoulders would be nice to see. That would make me less concerned of a double top. But this could be a head, shoulder, shoulder. Actually, that's kind of what we drew earlier, and then it broke down to here. But what we would like to see now is an inverse head, shoulder, shoulder, touch this, and then break this level of 830, whatever the high of day was, 836 or 7, and then it could get back in and maybe hit this channel around 860, So that's kind of the football drawing on that. If you guys can afford it, paper trading on Thinkorswim is great. But if you want a more realistic, real-time life experience, then you want to look at CMEG. It costs $150 a month to use their platform because it's a DOS trader platform. But it's going to give you the absolute best day trading experience for paper trading. And I would prefer that new traders spend $150 a month to learn with their paper trading account versus see ya, Santa. Great job, brother. I'd prefer you guys pay $150 a month to learn to paper trade. But hey, nothing against Thinkorswim. I just know that the Thinkorswim paper account can be frustrating with orders filling sometimes for paper trading, right? So that can drive people crazy. I get emails all the time. Hey, why does this not work? I can't get this to fill. And it's relative. Some people don't have the problem, or they're not doing something that generates the problem. So nothing bad about Thinkorswim other than their paper trading platform doesn't give you instant fills. It's kind of glitchy. You might have to cancel it a few times, put it back in, and then you're like, what the heck? And then the move's over, and you're like, it didn't work out the way I wanted to. So that's especially with delayed data. You want to fund your Thinkorswim account. Get real-time data. It works a lot better in that example. Yes. Yeah, that's a very important thing to do. So let's see. Setups. Cron still trapped. Cron is trapped. CVSI is kind of interesting. That might be good later today. It's hovering. It's oscillating around 632. Let me go to the chart. Where did it go? Did I delete it? Oh, I think I deleted it. CVSI is oscillating around 630. And potentially $7 could be hit later today, maybe on Power Hour, to see what kind of pattern shows up. Comes out to play on this. Volume is really light, so this might be good to watch later today. Cron. I love when you guys ask about these patterns in the chat room, and then it hyperlinks to the blog post. That is the best. Cup and handle. Maybe. I see more of a possible inverse head and shoulders forming right here. You know, it's attempting to break out this right angle. Right? Make it nice and... It's attempting to break this right angle. And then you could see it maybe trade sideways in the 820s and then pop, hit 834 again. Hopefully not double top. Hopefully form a nice big inverse head and shoulders and then break out. So Cron is what you want to watch right now. Cron is what you guys want to watch right now because this is starting to break this right angle. Get support from the 9. Even though the volume is 10,000, 20,000. The heck, how much volume is this? Below 20. Could be a slow mover though, up to 834. That's not a bad, this isn't bad risk management to buy this right here. Other than you've got 830, 828. But just ride that 9 for a little bit. and see if you can get that 10 cents out of it and set a 5-cent stop. But it's, you know, it's 11 o'clock, so think about that. Volume is going to slow down. A lot of day traders have traded. They're taking their profits, you know, their wins, their losses. They're packing it up and waiting for later in the day, or they might be watching their scanners for a little bit. But, you know, we're battling against day traders where it's going to start to slow down at this time of day. This could be good for people who maybe want to practice a slow-moving trade. You're still going to get that. You're still going to get the volume from, you know, the machines, the algos, and the swing traders who are placing their buys. You know, but think about it. A lot of these swing traders will place a big buy, and then it immediately goes against them. They're instantly in the red. And that's because a day trader was holding this, and he's like, oh, a big swing trader did a big, you know, 20,000 share buy and at the ask and pushed it up, and I'm going to take my profit now. So then it goes right back down. Also, the algos predict these kind of things. The machines, the computers that we trade against understand this stuff as well, and will instantly push people in the red. So all stuff to think about. I'm going to probably wrap it up here, guys, for now. I'm going to be... I don't know about predicting. I wouldn't say predicting. I would say it has potential if it breaks, especially right now. It's got a... I like the pattern. It's got a inverse head and shoulders right here. It needs to break that 1250 to 1265 range really well. Get above these two trend lines, and you might see a bit of a wedge forming. Let me try to draw it on this. Let's see. You might see a bit of a wedge like this. Right now that wedge is holding it down. So you can see right now it's in a wedge pennant, and it needs to get out of that as well, and this. So it's got a lot of resistance to keep it down from 1320, and it doesn't have the morning volume to help it get there. The volume has just been going lower and lower. So maybe power hour. Well, don't count on it hitting anything, but it also does have this right here. So it's at a possible inflection point, and it certainly could test the high a day again, but it's just really low volume. So power hour will be around, we need to do a blog post on power hour. Maybe we'll do one on that. 3 o'clock. So sometimes it starts a little bit earlier. You can see volume start to pick up around 2:30. Sometimes I've seen volume pick up even a little bit later. That's usually where eyes come back in. I'm going to wrap up the stream though, guys. I'm going to post this video to YouTube, and I'm going to show you guys. This is our chat room. This is where everybody is hanging out. It's just one of our chat rooms where we're sharing information, talking to each other, and you know, calling out stuff to watch. And you know, we've got a fast-growing community. We hope that you guys who are watching this video on YouTube later, come and join us. Our rates are going up at 2 o'clock today, so it's kind of your last chance to get in if you watch this video. They're going up. We've grandfathered everybody else in who's been with us for a long time, and we thank them. We love our members. They're awesome. But we would like for you guys to get the deal of the century. You could even say it's the heist of a century, because we're giving you guys a ton of content. So we've got your ebook, free courses, watch lists. Talk about the alerts here. These are our trade rooms. We've got 3 of them right now. We're probably going to add more later. We have our store. You can subscribe. We got our blog. A little bit about coaching here. But really, check out the subscribe page. And you guys will see we have our new pricing here. But all this legacy coding promo codes are going away later today. So that'll be that. And, you know, check us out. Come join us. Trade with us. We do these streams in real time. I know a lot of you guys are profiting from the stuff that, you know, becoming better traders and profiting from the stuff that we're talking about in the trade room. So now is the time, guys. Thank you all. I will see you at Power Hour, Creed. That's right. Yep. Thank you all for watching today. I'm thinking about coming back for Power Hour today because I'm feeling like today's a really good, juicy day to be day trading. You could make up for like the last couple weeks of suck, you know, in these 10, 15 cent trades that we've been doing for profit. There's much more meat on the bone today, so I think I might come back for Power Hour, so stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll do it live on YouTube and Zoom. We'll have to see, at least on Zoom. So if you guys are not on our Zoom, please go to the live streaming page, download the Zoom client, and I'll let you guys know in the chat when I come back if I do, and I'll let you all know. Thank you all. Enjoy your lunch or whatever it is you decide to do for the rest of the day. Hopefully we see you guys around Power Hour later.